Hey everyone, Connor here from the Daubers, and today we're going to be interviewing Greg Moss, who came 8th at the Sheffield RLE. So let's dive into the interview and see how his weekend went. We'll just go into
Right.
the basics, which is the easiest one is how long have you been playing the game?
I've been playing since just after Set One came out with my hero, so yeah, I'm quite a newbie in compared to probably some of these other people. So
Right, no, fair. No, because I think that's the thing with this. It's like the player count has just like spiked. So,
yeah,
what games were you
definitely.
playing beforehand?
The main one I was playing beforehand was Flesh and Blood, which I was quite successful in. I was number one in the country for a little bit based on XP.
Nice.
So it was just basically me grinding my ass off, so trying to get experience
Ah,
that
nice.
way. So um, a lot of the people who I played Flesh and Blood with also played UFS back in the day. So when they saw my hero set coming out, they were trying to push that to me, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Fair, fair. Aye, and it's working. It's working. So.
Yeah.
Nice. So did that? So were you into like My Hero and stuff beforehand?
Not really, to be honest. I hadn't really. I'd watched anime, but my hero was always one of those ones where I'd never really delved into the manga or the anime kind of thing. So when the game came out, I thought, right, well, I'm interested in the game mechanics. So I've got to watch the anime and
Yeah,
got to see if I like that before I invest anymore. And then hooked on the anime, hooked on the manga. So
nice.
yeah.
No, not bad, not bad. So did that make a character selection easy for you or harder?
A bit of both, really. It opened my eyes to more characters, but then when I saw what they did, I thought that they weren't really for me at the start, kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
So
So how did you come across like so when you've ended up picking up Momo, who's who you played for this event, was that like
yeah.
an easy decision or was there like a lot of grinding away to find her?
It wasn't too bad, really. Momo's was one of my first few characters, to be honest. I enjoyed. The first character I ever played was Ida because I pulled a reciprocal burst in one of my first few packs. So I thought, well, I've got to play the character with this card,
No, fair,
and
fair.
it wasn't really my and then played a little bit of Cyril and thought he was a bit gimpy and thought he was cool, but as soon as people learn you don't partial block, I was like, what do you do? And then
Yeah.
I looked at Momo and thought, because a lot of the locals who I was playing with at the time were new players, and looked at Momo and thought, that's a bit complicated. I don't know if I want to do that. And challenge accepted.
Yeah, no, fair. Aye, dive right
so,
into it.
so I started grinding with that. So yeah, and then I've never fallen in love without the deck. I absolutely love the deck. Like even for this event, I hadn't played Momo for a little while because my locals very much like when we get new players in, they're very much like I want to play my character. I don't really like other people playing the same character. It feels a little bit bad.
Yeah, no,
So
fair.
when the lad picked up Momo, I stepped back a bit and thought because I've got most play sets of the cards and stuff. So I thought I can play different characters every week. I don't really mind. And when I need to pick up one more, I can pick her up. So
Yeah, just keep going with other people at that point. No, fair enough.
yeah.
So it was pretty easy enough to then like pick up Momo and you were like, right, that's who I'm playing for regionals. Was there any real
Yeah,
reason
pretty
for
much.
that pick?
Well, it was between two. To be honest, it was between Momo and Settle One.
Ah,
And when I went to the HLC, I had exactly the same dilemma and picked Settle One. And I know it was unfortunate circumstances when I was there. I wasn't very well and stuff like that. But all the time, ever since then, I thought I regret not playing Momo. I wish I played Momo. Why didn't I take Momo? And then when I had that same decision this time, I thought I'm not going to make the same mistake again.
so diving into the event as such, what was your kind of run-ins? What kind of characters did you see during the Swiss rooms?
I saw. I didn't start off great. I saw Grant round one with zero, so I was just like, "Yeah, this is not a good day."
Yeah, that's a rough
so
start.
yeah, saw him round one, then saw an All Might Seven round two, and I need to apologize to the Dax. I was a little bit tilted at the time because I took the first game off him. He won the second game, and then before the third game started, he looked at the clock and went, "I can't." 15 minutes and sideboard and Kirishima too. I was like, you.
Oh, that's a cheeky
I was
sideboard.
like, yeah. I was just like, oh, you monster. So yeah, I was just sat there, just like I was deadpan. I felt so bad afterwards. I was like, I should go and apologize, but I was just like, it's the damage has been done.
Aye, it's round 2 as well, so I mean, it's like it's still the
Yeah,
stressful part as well.
exactly. So I was just like, oh man. And then round 3, I played against top 2, which was Liam's brother. So that was quite a fun game. It was a nice way to kind of de-stress, and before lunch, I managed to win that. So it was a good game. It was pretty quite a little bit lucky checking the Russian stabs, which
Ah, fair.
it's one of those things you run the risk. So I don't remember which character I played around 4, unfortunately, but I know I took that 2-0. Then round 5, I played one of the lads from Middlesbrough who had come down for the event as well, who I was going to the locals with on the race. I had one, and that was a very close round, to be fair. And I had to squeak round 1, and then round 2 we went to time. He overextended just because why not, to see if he could get a win. And then
Yeah.
can you kill me? I'm on 20, and I was like, yeah, 3 kind of best, sure. That'll
Nice.
do it. And then round 6, I came against. Oh, who did I play against round 6? I think in All Might 3 that I played previously, like a couple of like Sheffield events. It was
Right,
a
yeah, yeah.
really tight game, like really tight games. And I got very lucky with being able to block at key times and stuff like that, and sideboarding went really well for me. So, and then obviously last round I played against yourself. So
Yep. Yep. Which actually very
that
easily
was a
follows
hell of
up
a
to a
game.
question people wanted to ask, which was they said, how did it feel to crush the dreams of Connor making top cuts in that final round?
I felt so bad, man. Honestly, I was just like, you even said to me, you were like, "Do you think we can ID?" I was like, "I don't think we can."
I know.
Like I think if we'd ID, we would have been 18, 19. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to do it.
And then while we were talking as such, they came up and was like, "You're on camera, on stream."
I
It was
know.
like,
We
"Oh, well,
tried
then
to
carry
decide then,
ID
like,
now."
oh, is he not on stream? And it was like, yeah, it's like, well, we've got to play now, haven't we?
Oh man, and that game was like something else as well. Like, I ended up
Yeah, it was
rewatching
a
it
hell of
back that morning. Still,
Oh,
still
yeah.
very much crushed because they hadn't told me I'd got my invite until like way later before they started leaving.
Yeah,
So I was still very
yeah.
deflated. Watched it back, being like, I couldn't have done anything different.
Yeah.
uh,
It was a hell of a game from both our parts, especially if you already played that deck really well. I think you got a bit unlucky with some of your checks when you were doing some of your attack turns, but that's how the game goes, and
that's it.
you
It
played really
happens.
well.
So what was your record going into the top cuts then?
I was 5-1-1, so I started the day on 1 loss and 1 draw, and then proceeded to win my next 5 rounds to try and pull it back.
Yeah,
So
fair.
I was keeping the dream alive. It was like, oh, I've got to win. I'm gonna break. Oh, sorry, just said yeah. Every win just kind of I elevated a bit more. Like, you never know.
Yeah, running the gauntlet. During your
Exactly.
Swiss rounds as such, did you
hmm
have like a boogeyman deck you didn't want to see?
Ironically, Giro, which
Zero.
I
Yeah.
saw first round, so that was just like because Giro is one of those decks where, especially with a great pilot like Grant, it was a case of I don't get the time to set up and I don't get that counter swing. It's just a
Yeah.
case of I have rare, I have the right block zones, and a lot of the time because I was trying to build for that defense, I didn't get the chance to get those block zones, or I was nuking my board to the point where I couldn't then either pass those blocks or swing
Right.
back
Aye.
effectively. So,
And in the similar vein, was there a deck or a character you were really wanting to play against?
if I'm honest, not particularly. Just because, especially, I feel like Momo's one of those unique decks where every matchup is different. It's not a case of I'm better into this matchup, I'm worse into this matchup, apart from decks like Jiro who can just out aggro you completely. But every matchup's different, and especially the way I was playing the deck, it was very much using my life as a resource in those games and stabilizing my board and stuff like that. And I feel like every deck is a different challenge for Momo, which is one of the reasons why I like the character. It means every game's different, every game plan's different. Yes, you're trying to kill them with probably the same cards, Cannon Blast, Home Run Comet, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
getting to that point is different every time. So it's one of those things where every matchup's different. It more so depends on the player rather than the deck.
So going into your top cuts, who did you play?
I played against Luke, I believe, on Endeavour 2, which was a very long round. It was a very long round. It was very, very stressful because it was a case of, it was basically everyone I think had finished their round in maybe about half an hour, 40 minutes kind of thing, like standard
Yep.
as you would for UFS. And we were starting round 3, probably about the hour and 3/4 mark. So,
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's a
so it was
long one.
against Endeavour 2, it's a very grindy game, especially the way Luke plays. He plays his deck very much like I play Momo, which was basically trying to build, stabilize, and then set for those big turns and being able to deal with the boards. Because of that, it's a very much a staring contest of who can do well and who can push that aggression. So it
Yeah.
was definitely a long one. I think it came to about 2 hours, the 3 rounds in total. So it
Yeah.
was definitely a long one. No worries. I was just saying I played Grant in top 8 and he proceeded to absolutely mollywop me. There was no question. So
Fair enough.
So I was happy I could turn around and say the one person who I lost it all weekend was the one who won the event, so I was happy with
Yeah,
that.
that's decent though, isn't it? Like, do you have any pre-event or game rituals?
um, not really, to be honest with you. It was just a case of we were doing. I think one thing that's kind of become a bit of a running joke in my play group, at least what I've noticed. I don't know if people picked it up. Whenever we go to an event and I proceed to we do some play testing the night before or something like that. I proceed to get absolutely rinsed every single game.
Yeah.
And then when I do that, I usually do well in the event. So I was like, maybe.
Yeah, it could be the sort of reverse luck.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, I'll just get them down the day before and then maybe you don't know. Like, so it was definitely one of those things. We got to where we were staying for about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. We checked in everything and then just played a few games and I got absolutely rinsed. And I was sat there questioning, is Momo the right choice? Should I
Oh,
take a different deck?
like that. It's the
Instead?
proper last minute decision as well. Like, do you switch?
Yeah.
Did that ever like
Yeah,
actually
I was
cross your mind to making a switch?
I did think about it, but I thought no, because I don't. Even if I don't do well with Momo, I don't want to sit there and think I wish I took Momo again.
Fair.
That's where that thought came in. It was a case of I didn't want to regret my decision again. I might have done that at Osato, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't regret taking Momo, which is nice.
Yeah. No. Fair. Fair. So we were talking about your local playgroup. So where is that you play? What's the store in that?
I would I would play in the northeast of England, so it's like Sunderland, Newcastle area kind of thing. So play a lot with a lot of people like Mitchell Stevens, who was down, John Paul Golightly, who both of which you played and beat. So thanks for that.
Because I remember at the end of it, you were saying that as such, and I was like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I think it was one of them
They
playing
were just like,
All
oh, he's
Might.
going through the gauntlet of some of them players here.
Because some of the guys you had come down with as such, I think there was like an All Might player. I think.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was an all my player from Middlesbrough as well, some
yeah,
Middlesbrough lads as
that
well.
was a hell game I had against him. He was like hitting
Yeah,
me for like 20 damage, like and stuff. I was like, right, I
yeah.
need to start committing everything.
Like, it'll be 6, it's fine, don't worry.
Yep. What character did you think you'd see most
I honestly thought I'd see on fourth kind
or fourth
at
kinds?
the event. Yeah, I definitely thought I'd see more, especially with the previous week where a few people have played fourth kind for the Sheffield division.
Yeah,
And then people on the web are playing fourth kind, and then Tyrell obviously more fourth kind in America. So I definitely thought I would see more fourth kind. I was surprised there was only a few, but I definitely thought I would see a lot more Giros
yeah, because it
than I
ended
did.
up 9
Yeah, a lot more
Giros
Giros.
in total, which,
Yeah,
yeah, I thought there was way a
yeah,
lot more. Fourth kind, I think there
yeah,
was 4, which, yeah, that's a shock.
yeah, definitely. I definitely thought we'd see more of both of those, and also Tokiyami. I'm surprised there's very many
Yeah, I played them.
Tokiyamis, but I do understand why. So
Yeah,
I
I think
understand
just
why, because it's a
the
very high
19
rolling
health
deck.
as well.
So,
Yeah, just
yeah,
low. I think I was saying this earlier on to some people. It was like I think low health characters definitely were kind of scared away.
yeah, 100%. It seems
Yeah,
like people are very comfortable playing them with us being
yeah.
quite an heavy format.
Like
So
26 health seemed to be quite a nice bar for most people
yeah,
playing.
yeah, it's one of those things where you feel like you can take an early hit set up your board and stuff like that. Whereas in like a 19 healthy, you think, yeah, I
Aye.
can't afford to lose anything. So
Yeah, you've got to block from the moment they start swinging. Yep.
100%, yeah.
So with this event, as such, it was 101 players overall. Is this the largest event you've played in?
For my hero, I think so. Yes, the only one that might be closer, I think, was when we did the set for World Premiere at Vegas. But
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember how many there were. So I think this is probably the biggest my hero.
So you've booked your ticket to Nationals. So you're looking forward to Nationals.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely, it's gonna be good seeing everybody being good, seeing what people play, how the meta evolves, and just seeing how everyone does really. And hopefully, I do well.
Yeah.
See what happens. Yeah.
What sort of choices in your deck did you make? And was there any cards you cut for in?
Yeah, there was a few things that changed over the deck, just kind of like going through the motions beforehand. I was running things like zero gravity lifts, which I took out because it just wasn't doing enough for the deck. And one thing I wish I had more of was a magnetic stomp. I was going to run it as a one of, and it really. I've had a few people message me asking why I run it, and I'm just going to say try it,
Yeah.
and you'll understand. Yes, it's a weapon, but if you can play it, if you get a hit, which in normal it's not too hard, it's a 6-4, so
Yeah.
it's quite an off zone. Usually you can get that hit, and with the way I play Momo, which is very much destroying your stage to rebuild your stage to then
Yeah.
get benefits and stuff like that, and transferring your stage and create foundations. It's one of those things where it helps a lot, and really accelerates that game plan, being able to re-ready your assets and stuff like that. So
you played Cannon Blast,
yeah,
which at least against the game against me was definitely the heavy hitter. Is this the
yeah.
main card coming in to finish games off?
It's a combination of that and also home run comment are the two that basically are the ways I win the game a lot of the time, which is why I like the life symbol. It gives you that extra win condition rather than stringing out, which Momo can do and people don't really expect it. But you want a couple of heavy hitting attacks, so it's one of those things where, or you use the high block for the cannon blast and commit it out. What are you going to do about the home run comet kind of thing? So
Yeah.
it's definitely very much. They're definitely the main two heavy hitters for the deck, and the rest of the decks are more of the utility of getting to that point and getting to that perfect board state of being right. This is where I can go, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
And then, do you have a favourite card from your deck?
Probably, I know it's probably cliche because it just does so much, but Rising Starlet and Quick Creator are probably the two for me that just, oh, chef's kiss for the deck. Honestly, it makes so many lines. It makes so many lines for the deck. It rewards you for sequencing. It rewards you for maintaining discard, for keeping an eye on things. And Floating Around My Babies is another one, which was quite. It's I think a lot of people don't really they appreciate it in Momo, but they don't take its full advantage of like removing 3, so you would have a weapon
Yeah.
on top to then build it in that kind of thing, or using Momos once per game to pick up a weapon that was maybe second on top of your discard, then removing 3, so then lose a weapon because you'd remove 4 cards, kind of thing. So it's definitely one of those things where every part of the deck is a very key part of the deck, and they all work as a very well-oiled machine. But if I had to highlight a couple of cards, it would definitely be Quick Create and Rising Star, and they would definitely be the two. I would say every Momo deck needs at least a 4 of, obviously. So
Yeah, no. Advice you would give to new players or existing players going to event?
I think the bit of advice I would give is just enjoy the game and just enjoy the experience of being around people, really, because it's a very friendly community. As someone who's been part of several different communities for card games, it's a very friendly, very open community. Even in a competitive environment, you can still enjoy yourself and have a good time. It's not a case of stony expressions and rule sharking, and a lot of the time it's just a case of two people playing a game that they enjoy with characters that they connect with. And I feel like that's a very strong thing about the game. So just don't be afraid to speak to people, to approach people, to ask questions, and just even if you're an existing player and you want to learn more, after you play someone and say, oh, what kind of things did you put in your deck for my match? Or what kind of things do you like about your deck? I was maybe going to try making my own version. Just don't be afraid to ask questions and speak to people, really. So,
did you have a memorable / best match of the weekend? It doesn't have to be
as much
our
as I want
match. Doesn't have to be our
I
match.
want to say ours. think I've got to say it was. Yeah, I think for the best back and forth game, it's got to be my top 16 match with Luke playing against that Endeavour 2, having that absolute grind between the two of us, just being able to trying to outmaneuver each other, outsequence each other, set up for those big turns. I think it was incredible. But from the opposite side of that, I would have to say both games against Grant were also my favourite because I'm under no disillusion that Grant's an amazing player, and I always enjoy when I play him because I always get to see how his mind works, how he's planning his attacks, how he's sequencing his turn. Like in game two, when I played him the second time, he played the zero gravity lift, which was lethal on because it was 9 damage. I was on that. I was sat there with 2 low blocks in hand, going, "Crack on, mate! Like, do your stuff." You know, knowing I was gonna die, but I just wanted to kind of see what he was planning, what he was sequencing, and all that stuff. And it was amazing to see. So yeah, they'd probably be my two moments out of the weekends, definitely.
Well, I think that is
Well,
basically everything, my dude. So
no
again,
worries, man.
congrats on your placement. Congrats on the national invite.
Yeah,
And
thank you
I'll
very much.
hopefully be able to see you there and potentially have another
Yeah,
interview when you top cut that one as well.
fingers crossed. We'll see
So,
what happens.
so thank you very much, and I will catch you all in the next one.